And so whoever raised us, parents, grandparents, whatever it is, we did thus and so. We didn't have a chance until we became adults. So although you have some product of your past, it doesn't mean you have to stay stuck in your
Yes.
past. There can still be a brighter future for you. It's all how you visualize yourself first. How are you going to show up for yourself? What are
Yes.
you telling yourself? Like that's the point. Like one of my videos, I believe it was the Black History video, and I discussed where my background came from, where I grew up on food stamps and public assistance. And, that was my parents and my grandparents. I couldn't change that. I was small. But as I grew older, I always said to Miko, you going to do better. You have to talk to yourself. You have to visualize. You have to have a vision. If you do not have a vision, it's going to say all things fall apart. Forget it. You understand? And so that's how you show up for yourself. How are you going to show up for yourself? Because sometimes it's that past that help you. It was the times where I was embarrassed to even to take a book of food stamps to the store that said,
Oh,
you know what, I don't want to live that way. I waited till people went out of the store before I pulled out that book of food stamps because I didn't want nobody to know that I grew up on public assistance. So I knew that I wanted better for myself. So I had to talk to myself like things will not always remain the same. And that's what good or bad. The things about seasons is that seasons change and your season can change. It's all begin how you show up for yourself.
yeah. And I think it's so brave of her at 8 months pregnant to get on that stand. She didn't want to get on there. She got subpoenaed, by the way, to
Mm-hmm.
get up there and to go through step by step what happened to her. To
Yeah,
relive, she had to relive all of that with the public scrutiny.
yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing to be a survivor
That's the
and
start of
to
it.
talk about that. I mean, it's embarrassing. It's
Yeah,
just terrible. As a mother, she's a mother now. So yes, thank you, Tamiko.
that's the start of it. When you can talk about it, that's the start of it. Because
Yeah.
what you speak is powerful. Your words you bring to life. When you speak it, when you blow, when you put air to it and you bring it to life. So her talking about it can be the start of a great change.
And I think instead of judging her, and we need to try to understand humans,
Yes.
instead of judging. And abusers, they need treatment too.
Yes.
They need a treatment too. And so I think that we need to get away from judging, particularly somebody who went
Right.
through something absolutely horrendous. We can't even imagine what that was
Mhm.
like to go through that.
You know what I'll say too for sure is I think that it's one of the things I'm going to speak as the only man on the panel, not as a defender of Diddy. I've never wanted to do that. I have to keep saying that because first thing you do is you get accused of defending Diddy if you speak from a perspective that is not sound a certain way. What's really interesting to me is I do experiments in my head and I say, what if this was a man? What if this was one of the millions of men I've seen who drank themselves to an early grave because they got left by
Yeah.
their wives for no reason of their own, meaning they didn't abuse anybody or beat anybody up. She just left because she just felt like he didn't love her enough or he wasn't good enough or whatever. She was just unhappy.